Hi, welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of two active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. My goal is to share with you how I stay on top of all life throws at me in one planner so that you might be able to do the same. So last week I had pulled different planner pages because I liked how neutral they were, but whenever I tried to move a sticker or even a piece of washi tape, it would leave a rip in my paper unless I used undo. So I decided to go back to my old planner, the one that has the colors for the months and the dots down the middle that always have some sort of color. October is orange, so hopefully I won't have to fight it too much, but I did decide to go back to this planner so that I didn't have to fight moving stickers around. I had also challenged myself to not use florals this month, so I am going to go with a soccer theme. This will be the last week that my son has any high school games, so I wanted to go ahead and make a soccer theme. I did expect these to be more red than orange, but I do think that they turned out cool. I am a little bummed that when I printed stickers on my Cricut and then had them cut out, they cut where they're not exactly lined up. So I'm not going to be able to use the boxes. It also cut all the way through my sticker paper, so I need to change the setting back, but I hate how the border is different on the different sides. So I am going to just go ahead and use other box stickers and not use the ones that I cut. I am also using a brand new Cricut mat, so everything is curling up and really sticking to that mat. So I think it's going to take a few uses before it's easy to get things up off of my Cricut mat. I also pulled some washi to try. I have like a green checkered pattern or grid pattern and two black and white stripes to see which I like best. And then, of course, I always have my box stickers off to the side. So let's jump in and start laying down stickers. So I am glad that the dots down the middle this month are orange, so I don't have to fight against that. As with most weeks, I am going to start with my sidebar. This is where I keep my meal plans for the week. And it's just an easy place to start since I always use my sidebar for meal planning. And then I'm going to use the rest of the sidebar area for this cleat and soccer ball. And it does take me a minute to get it laid down at the angle and in the position that I think it looks best. I didn't really want to cut off the back of the cleat, so I was trying to make the angle right, make the ball layer correctly, make the cleat not go off the edge. So it did take some moving the sticker around. I am grateful that I switched back to this planner though. Otherwise, I would have ripped a big ol' hole in this paper. So I am thankful for the good paper this week. Once I got the cleat and ball combo down, you could still see a little bit of the notes peeking through below the cleat. So I did find my jelly roll pin and put a little jelly roll down on that so that you couldn't see it anymore. I still don't like how it's kind of floating, but I will come back to that. The next thing that I wanted to work on was finding a box for the weekend, and I debated about whether or not I would put black over in that corner as well, or if I wanted to do an orange box. I did not think that this orange was the right color orange, although what's funny is on camera, this does look like the right color orange, and the one that I end up picking looks too yellow, but it really does go with the stickers better in person. So I do think that's kind of funny, but I do end up using this orange that on screen looks a little more yellow. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that I like to put a bigger area for tasks all together on the weekend and not split them up by Saturday and Sunday. I tend to treat my Saturday and Sunday as one to-do list. I'm never quite sure when I'm going to have to run kids places, so I try to not overschedule myself and just keep one list for the weekend. And now I'm going to get to the fun part of laying the soccer people down. And they're a little hard to mess with because their legs are open. So it's easier if you either start with the head or put one leg down and then work your way over. I did decide that I wanted the box right under the soccer player's foot. And the Mojo Jojo Plan stickers are super sticky. So I did go ahead and grab my undo. And then usually I will use the undo on the Cricut stickers just because they are so intricate. And when I scrape them up with my fingernail, they kind of warp on the edges or curl up, and they're hard to get down flat again. So I do use the undo in a couple places, I believe, for the soccer guys. And I know that I want to use at least 3 of the cutouts and spread them across the page. And usually they look best if they are in some sort of triangle pattern. I also need to make sure I leave enough room for my lines for my tasks for the week. And at this point, I am just planning on alternating where they go. And at this point, I'm still thinking that I will keep my calendar across the top. But I really like that guy, and then I'm going to take the soccer ball onto the other side of the page so that it connects the 2 pages together. Also, by keeping the soccer ball in the corner, it leaves me plenty of room for my lines for my task list. And now you see me kind of pointing out a rough triangle so that I can lay my next player down in a triangle shape. And at this point, I'm not sure what I want to do, but I did not want to not put a guy across the top, if that makes sense. Just because I was saving room for my calendar, there's still plenty of room on those 2 days to put calendar items, so I'm not as worried about it. Next, I'm going to go ahead and lay in the boxes that I need for the week. Monday, we are off school and it's senior night for the soccer players. Tuesday, my son has a game. Thursday, my son has a game, and I don't lay down boxes for it, but he also has a game on Saturday. So I'm going to have to go in and lay boxes down for that as well. But I did put them in groups, one black and one orange, just because I felt like it balanced itself out better and it didn't just seem like there were random boxes floating. I felt like if I grouped them together, they just looked better. And there's plenty of things that I can write in the boxes. I also put some stickers down on Wednesday originally and realized they needed to be on Tuesday. So I did use my undo. Again, the Mojo Jojo stickers are very sticky, so it's easier just to use the undo and not to fight it. But originally I was not putting boxes down for my son's soccer games, but then I realized that high school soccer games take a lot longer. He either is staying for half the varsity game or riding the bus home or whatever. It just always takes longer than you think it's going to take. So it makes it easier for me to plan my tasks out for the day and plan the meals for the day if I have a better visual representation of things that take up a long time. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, it is what it is. And it is important to, at least for me, to be realistic as an overscheduler, what I can and cannot get done in one day. Once I get my boxes laid down, I do sit back and look at the spread to see where I want to go. I don't really like how the soccer players look like they're floating in the air, so I know that I want to do something about that. I also really want to use my son's number, and I feel like it's still a little blank, so I'm going to address all of those things. So the first thing I do is put his number down, And I know that I'm not going to put any lines in that area. I'm going to put them in the box that has the ball in it. So that area next to it won't have any. It'll be the area above the 24 that will have the lines for the day. And then I'm just trying to figure out if I like any of the washi tape that I had pulled to go underneath the soccer players. And I felt like the green grid kind of looked like grass. So I am going to try to peel up the soccer players' feet and lay down the washi tape underneath. I really wish I had thought of this before I laid the stickers down, because looking at the spread now, some of their feet are starting to roll up on me, so I'm going to have to go back in and give it a little glue. So I should have used undo on all of their feet. But I'm going to go ahead and pull up all the guys' feet and the soccer balls and the number, and go ahead and put some green underneath, as well as the cleat that's over in the sidebar, and then we'll come back and take another look at it. Now that I have the faux grass laid down, I am going to go ahead and put in my lines for the week before I get too crazy. And I really think that drawing the lines in tends to bring the spread together, and it fills it up a little bit so it doesn't seem so empty for me. So I do go ahead and lay down the lines and just alternate the boxes up and down across the week. And I did get Happy Planner's new stencil, so I will have to have a comparison. It looks like it is the same distance apart for the lines, and maybe the lines are a little longer. So when I get that opened up, I will put up a quick video comparing the two stencils. But I am still looking for a stencil that has the lines closer together. Like I've said, I don't necessarily like wide ruled, I prefer the college rule. And the last thing that I felt like was missing from the spread were some quotes. So I did find some soccer quotes to print out. I just went ahead and printed them out on cardstock and cut them out by hand, and now I'm going to turn them into stickers since I had such a hard time with my Cricut earlier. So I'm just going to feed those cut out quotes through my Xyron sticker maker. I'm not sure if they sell this anymore, but if they do, I will put a link in the description. I know that I have had trouble finding refills recently, so I am going to lay down these 3 quotes. That first one says, "Talent without working hard is nothing," by Cristiano Ronaldo. And then the bottom left corner says, "When people succeed, it is because of hard work. Luck has nothing to do with success." And that's by Diego Maradona. And then the third quote says, "In football, the worst blindness is only seeing the ball." And that is by Nelson Falco Rodriguez. Hopefully I did not butcher the names too badly. I do like how they relate to the spread and just to life in general. Also on that third sticker, I had reached the end of the sticker paper in the sticker maker, and I had to trim off the excess. It was still sticky. I just couldn't peel it off the sticker like you normally could, so I did need to trim around. It is sticky from corner to corner and edge to edge. I definitely feel that the spread is looking more complete at this point, but I do feel like it's still missing something. I'm just not sure what it is. So I do grab the green washi and think about putting it in more places. I think it probably would have been fine if I had either left more space between the edges of the boxes and the quote itself, or if I had not laid those down yet and put the washi tape underneath. I think it would have been okay, but I just didn't like how close it ended up being to the text, or how little I could overlap it on the sticker. So I did try that out, but I ended up taking it back up and not putting any additional washi tape down. I did still have a couple more soccer player cutouts that I could use, and I felt like there was a pretty big gap up there at the top of the spread between the 13th and the 14th. So I did go ahead and put a guy in up there. And I try to do odd numbers or keep things in a triangle and all those decor rules, but I really do think that the guy fit there and it balanced things out. Once I get this additional guy down, his ball, and a little bit more washi tape, I'm going to call this spread done. I am pretty excited that it is a spread with no florals, and it's kind of bittersweet. I love the spread, and I'm excited for the boys to wrap up their season, but I'm also sad that it's already over. I feel like we just started. Our head coach is also moving out of state after the season, and we are losing 12 seniors. So it is a bag of mixed emotions for sure. Once the undo dries and I get everything stuck back down, I'm going to call this spread done, and I really like it. And I know that I'm going to write a bunch of notes around for the end of the soccer season, so I will fill up the spread. I am so glad that I challenged myself not to use florals this week. I like how it turned out a lot. So I hope everyone has a great week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!